Okay, I'm ready to get started. And Deputy Thomas,
Yes, Your Honor. Yes.
would you turn the volume down just a little bit? I'm getting some feedback. Okay,
How's that, Your Honor?
that's perfect. Good morning, everyone. This is your first appearance hearing before the Magistrate Court of Clayton County. My name is Gardner, and I'm a judge in this court. I'm here to inform you of the charges that have been filed against you, to advise you of certain rights, to set bail on those offenses that I'm authorized to set bail, to schedule a preliminary hearing, and to determine whether you require the assistance of an attorney. You have the right to remain silent and say nothing. But should you give up this right, anything you say during this proceeding may be used against you. So please don't discuss the facts of your case. During this and all other proceedings, you have the following rights: to the presumption of innocence, to indictment by a grand jury for most felonies or by accusation for misdemeanors, to a speedy and public trial by jury, to see, hear, and question witnesses who are called to testify against you, to compel the attendance of witnesses to testify on your behalf, to testify on your own behalf or offer evidence of your own defense, to have an attorney represent you. If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you if you qualify. Some of you will be allowed to post unrestricted bonds for your release from jail. These bonds may be posted by cash, commercial, or property. Some of you will have special conditions on your bond that prohibit you from contacting certain people or going to certain places. You will also be prohibited from contacting the victim while you are in jail. If you violate the court's order, your bond will be revoked and you can remain in jail until your trial. You could also receive additional felony charges. It is important to note that if someone is listed as a victim in your case, that person will not be allowed to post your bond. Some of you are charged with offenses for which this court is not authorized by law to set bail. In this event, a bond hearing will be scheduled before a judge of the Superior Court of Clayton County, and you will be informed of that date. If you are currently on active probation, this court is not authorized to set bond at this time. Where the bond is appropriate in your case will be reconsidered after your probation officer has had an opportunity to consider this new arrest. The purpose of a preliminary hearing is to determine whether there is sufficient evidence to support the allegations against you. The standard at this stage is very low. A judge determining whether a charge goes forward at this stage only has to determine that it is possible that the crime occurred. Everyone has the ability to waive their right to a preliminary hearing. However, you should speak to a lawyer first if you are unsure about whether it is appropriate to waive your preliminary hearing. If you post bond, your preliminary hearing is automatically waived. You will receive notice at the address you give of your next court date. Finally, I need everyone to raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm any statements you make during this proceeding will be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's start on the ladies' side with Ms. Baxter.
Yes.
I mean, it's now.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
You've been charged with one count of aggravated assault. That's a felony offense. Bond is going to be set at $10,000. You're charged with one count of criminal trespass. That's a misdemeanor offense. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. And finally, you're charged with one count of battery. That's a misdemeanor offense. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. So that's going to be a total bond of $18,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on your bond to stay away from Emmett Jackson. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for March 9th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to find that you qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Can you repeat my bond amount?
Yes, ma'am. Your total bond amount is going to be $18,000, $10,000 for the felony aggravated assault, $3,000 for the criminal trespass, and $5,000 for the battery. Do you have any other questions, ma'am?
No.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back. We have Miss Buchanan.
Mr. Buchanan.
Miss Buchanan, ma'am, you're charged with one count of simple battery, family violence. This is a misdemeanor offense. I've set the bond at $3,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond, to stay away from a Stephen Blanks. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for March 8th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Now, I noticed something weird about the bond order in your case. The bond order says criminal damage to property in the second degree, which is a felony offense, but the warrant says simple battery, which is a misdemeanor offense. So that's why you're getting a misdemeanor preliminary hearing date. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay, you do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
Miss Smith. Are you Karina Smith?
Yes, sir.
Okay, ma'am. You have a number of charges. There are apparently 2 warrants issued for your arrest back in 2021, and then 4 warrants recently. I'm sorry, 3 warrants recently issued this year, and then there are 3 other charges from your arrest the other day. So I'm going to go through these, okay? You're charged in warrant number 2021 CW 55799 with committing the offense of criminal damage to property. That's a felony offense. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. You're charged also with reckless conduct, which is a misdemeanor, and warrant ending in 55800. I'm setting the bond at $3,000 for that offense. So now we're going to move to the warrants that were sought against you this year. And warrant number 2022 CW 50385, you're charged with failing to yield the right of way when turning left. That's a misdemeanor offense. Bond is going to be set at $500. And the warrant ending 50386, you're charged in another misdemeanor with knowingly operating a vehicle with the what is it? It said with the invalid decal. The bond is going to be set at $1,000 for that offense. And warning in 50387, the charge with hit and run, leaving the scene of an accident. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. Now, for the latest round of warrants, and warrant number 2022 WA 02305, you're charged with committing the offense of identity fraud. That's a felony offense. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. You're also charged in warrant number WA 02193. It appears. I'm sorry, 12123 with misdemeanor possession of marijuana. Bond is going to be set at $1,500. And finally, you're charged in warrant number 02124 with committing the offense of false name. Bond is going to be set at $2,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond, to stay away from a Ricardo Stewart and a Bianca Stewart. Do you understand that? Because of these felony offenses, I'm going to set a preliminary hearing date for March 9th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Now, because some of these offenses are misdemeanors and some are felonies, and it appears to have happened at three different times, sometimes the district attorney's office will separate the misdemeanors out from the felonies. And I don't know if they'll do that in your case, but if they do that, you're going to have another preliminary hearing date set if you're still in custody. Okay. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to find that you qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Yes, my total amount for bonding with all those together.
Okay, give me 1 second. By my math, it looks like the total bond amount is going to be $21,000. Any other questions?
No, thank you.
Okay, you're free to go back, man.
Thank you.
Your Honor, Ms. Buchanan you had a question regarding her.
Sure.
Judge, before she goes, we're gonna have to go over her latest charges again when we finish.
Ms. Smith or Ms. Buchanan?
No, Ms. Smith, because they're the calendar.
Okay, so they didn't make it onto the calendar?
So when we're done.
Okay.
Okay.
Ms. Buchanan, what's your question, ma'am?
Ms. Buchanan, Your Honor, how will I stay away from my husband? And we live in the same house.
Okay, this question comes up a lot. You have to understand that whatever occurred that led to the police being called to your house, you're going to get out tonight. We don't want that to happen once again, okay? Because we just don't have the resources to keep coming out to people's houses because of arguments or disputes. Because he's the alleged victim and you're the alleged offender, I can't place conditions on him, but I can place conditions on you.
Okay.
So until this condition is modified, you're going to have to live somewhere else.
All right.
As you're bonding out, though, ma'am, you can make arrangements with the sheriff's department so that at an appointed time, they'll have an officer at your house so you can get the things that you need to get so that you can conduct your daily life. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Anything else, ma'am?
No, sir. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Does that complete the ladies' side?
Yes, Your Honor. Did you need to speak with Ms. Smith again?
No, we're going to I'm going to speak with Miss Mary because some of her charges didn't make it onto the calendar. So we just want to make certain that we have everything taken care of so she can do what Miss Smith can do what she needs to do to bond out.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Have a good day.
Same, sir.
Okay, let's switch over to the male side. Are you Mr. Beckford?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Beckford, sir, you're charged with one count of misdemeanor theft by taking. Bond is going to be set at $2,000. You're charged with one count of simple battery. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. And you're charged with one count of criminal damage to property in the second degree, which is a felony offense, and bond is going to be set at $5,000. So you're going to have a total bond set at $10,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Naveen Beckford. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for March 9th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. I'm going to find that you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, so you're free to go back.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Darius Calhoun.
$1,000.
Calhoun.
Mr. Calhoun, sir, you've been charged with one count of driving or vehicle driving a vehicle after dark and not having your headlights on. This is a misdemeanor offense. Bond is going to be set at $500. You're also charged with one count of possession of firearm by a convicted felon. I've set the bond at $10,000. So that's going to be a total bond of $10,500. Because of this felony offense, you're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for March 9th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Okay. I'm going to find that you qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me? I'm sorry, I didn't.
No, sir, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, you're free to go back, Mr. Calhoun. Mr. Cosby,
Yes, Your Honor, how you doing?
I'm doing well, sir. You're charged with one count of aggravated cruelty to animals. This is a felony offense. I'm going to set the bond at $5,000.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Because this is a felony offense, you're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for March 9th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, and I'm gonna bond out.
Okay. I'm going to find that you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Mr. Cowens.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Cowens, sir, you're charged with one count of a red light violation, basically running a red light. That's a misdemeanor offense. Bond is going to be set at $500. You're also charged with one count of driving on a suspended license, which is a misdemeanor offense. Bond is going to be set at $1,500. So you're going to have a total bond set at $2,000. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for March 8th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. It says you refuse to fill out the form. Are you going to hire your own lawyer?
My mom paid my bond for a bonding company.
Okay. I asked about a lawyer.
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay. So sometimes, Mr. Cowan, because of how things move, your bonds are preset. So you may have just been caught in that gray area where a decision has to be made of take you to court or wait. So when you go back, you're probably going to get a knock on the door and tell you that you get your stuff so you can leave. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. You're free to go back. Mr. Henderson.
Henry.
Okay, Mr. Henderson, you're charged with one count of simple battery. Actually, it's battery. That's a misdemeanor offense. I've set the bond at $500. There was a notation on your bond order as to the court case, which was incorrect. It was listed as 2022 TS 00004, but the warrant number is 2022 CW 50409. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond, to stay away from a Makia Mickens. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for March 8th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon you bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. I see that you also refuse to fill out the form. So does that mean you're going to hire your own lawyer?
No, I'm bond out.
Oh, okay. You have any questions for me, sir?
Yeah, what you said the bond was again?
$5,000.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Henry. Mr. Henry, sir, you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. This is a misdemeanor offense. Bond is going to be set at $3,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Melissa Dubrow. Do you understand that?
Definitely.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for March 8th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you will get a new court date in the mail. You also refuse to sign the form. So you're going to hire your own lawyer.
Sorry?
You refuse to fill out the,
I was gonna speak on behalf of myself. That's why I am.
okay. Do you have any questions for me?
Everything seems to be clear. Thank you.
Okay, you're free to go back, sir.
All right, thank you. Bye.
You're welcome. Mr. Howard,
Yes, sir.
sir, you're charged with 1 count of, looks like family violence battery. Bond is going to be set at $5,000. This is a misdemeanor offense. There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Chandria Sheets. Do you understand that?
Yes,
Your
sir.
preliminary hearing date is going to be set for March 8th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you will get a new court date in the mail. You've also refused to fill out the form. So you're going to hire your own lawyer or represent yourself?
Yes, sir. I have a lawyer.
Okay. Was your lawyer supposed to be here?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, you're free to go back, sir.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. We just had Mr. Butterfield come on. Let's bring up Mr. Ramos.
Mr. Reynolds.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm sitting in here in your old parking deck here at the State Bar Building, Your Honor, about to go into a GACTO seminar. So thanks for allowing me to log on this morning. I see, good morning, Mr. Ramos. I see he's present, Your Honor.
Yes. So, Mr. Ramos, I would normally speak to you directly, but you've taken advantage of the opportunity to hire an attorney. So I'm going to be speaking with Mr. Butterfield this morning about your case. I just want to caution you that this is not a private setting. So anything that you say here could be used against you. So please don't say anything you wouldn't want the whole world to know, okay? All right, so Mr. Butterfield, your client has 1 felony offense and the rest are misdemeanors. The felony offense is possession of a firearm by a first offender probationer. Which of course is a felony offense. And if he's on probation, I can't set bond pursuant to 1710(1) at this hearing.
Okay, Judge. Yeah, he had a friend of his left a gun in his car last night, and that guy is just called us saying he wants to bring the receipt and etc. But is there any way we can attack that warrant, Judge? At this point in first appearance, if that guy comes forward, if not, we'll have to deal with because that's in Cartersville. He was just about to be off that probation in March. It terminates in March. In fact, I represented him 3 years ago, and it has a behavior incentive date ends in March. But if there's anything we could do, we'd appreciate that. But if not, we understand, what the law is with regards to 1710(1)(a).
I'll address that in 1 second. Let me just tell you the other charges. They're all misdemeanors. Open container, bond is set at $500. Defective headlight, bond set at $500. License not on person, bond set at $500. And violation of the seatbelt law, bond set at $500. Now, as it relates to having your client get released prior to this time, prior to the preliminary hearing date, which is currently going to be set for March 9th. If you have that information that you can share with Cheryl Freeman in the district attorney's office, I'm certain that she would, well, I'm not going to speak for her, but that may go a long way to addressing that one charge.
Okay, Judge, I'll get with Ms. Freeman ASAP, Your Honor.
Is it, let me see. I've reached that age now where I got to take my glasses off to read. According to the officer, the gun was located on the driver's door of the vehicle. So that may be something that is relevant to you.
All right, thanks, Judge. Judge, I want to write these charges again. So possession of a firearm by first offender, then he has the seat belt, and then he had well, in fact, Judge, I'm not sure if I can get an email, but can I write the warrant numbers down? Because if I go and try to get her to do a consent bond or something, or well, actually, when I want to talk about that warrant, I would like to be able to reference it.
Okay. That warrant number is 2022 WA 02338.
Okay, got that.
And I can get make sure that the other information gets to you also.
All right, thank you, Judge. Thank you very much.
Okay, you should get it today.
All right, thank you, Judge. That's going to conclude my business, Your Honor.
Okay.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Are you gonna send it to him or you want me to send it to him?
I could send it to him.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, Ms. Moultrie.
You're welcome, sir.
Okay, you're free to go, Mr. Butterfield. It's good seeing you. Mr.
Thank you, Your
Ramos,
Honor.
you're welcome. Stay in contact with your lawyer.
All right, thank you.
I'll explain everything to his father. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Let's see. I believe we're on Mr. Jackson. Mr. Jackson, sir, you're charged with one count of use or possession of drug-related objects, which is a misdemeanor offense. Bond is going to be set at $1,500. You're also charged with one count of possession of misdemeanor marijuana. Bond is going to be set at $1,500. And this is another one of those instances where this possession of marijuana less than an ounce didn't make it to the bond order. The warrant number is 2022 WA 02349. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for March 8th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. You also refuse to fill out the form. Does that mean you're gonna represent yourself or hire your own lawyer?
I'll represent myself.
Okay.
One of the two, Your Honor, I'm probably gonna get a lawyer.
Okay.
At the moment.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me, Mr. Jackson?
How much is the total altogether?
$3,000.
Okay.
All right. You're free to go back, sir. Mr. Martin.
How you doing, Your Honor?
How are you, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for asking.
Mr. Martin, you're charged with two misdemeanor offenses. One is driving a vehicle with defective headlights, bond set at $500. And the second charge is driving a vehicle while unlicensed. Bond is going to be set at $1,000. So that's a total bond of $1,500. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for March 8th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. I can't read your handwriting. How much do you make per hour?
22.
Okay. I'm going to find that you qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. I'm sorry. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. Mr. Mitchell. Good morning, Mr. Mitchell. You're charged with one count of trafficking marijuana. This is a felony offense. Any amount of marijuana over 10 pounds, I'm not authorized to set a bond. So your bond is going to be denied pursuant to statute 17-6-1. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for March 9th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. You're going to also have a bond hearing date set for March 11th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. You've indicated that you did not want to fill out the form, so I'm suspecting you're going to hire your own lawyer.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions for me?
I want to know, can I get a high bond or something?
So
I don't have a record that.
most of the people with this charge, believe it or not, it happens every day. Out of this year, I mean, this week, I think I've had one out of Las Vegas, one out of Seattle. I think you're allegedly out of LAX. So I cannot, if I were to set a bond on this offense, I'd be sitting in there with you because I knowingly violated the law. So doesn't mean that you have to sit here until your next court date. Your lawyer can go to the district attorney's office with information about your case, and the district attorney's office will make a determination. They can consent to a high bond. I've seen it happen, and I've seen some people sit in here, but most of the people that are in your position have one or two arrests, but you have to sit. Okay?
Okay.
Anything else, sir?
You said I need to get my lawyer to contact the district attorney's office for earlier release?
Get your information, put a packet of information together about you and go see if the district attorney's office is willing to consent. They may or they may not. Okay. All right. You're free to go back. Mr. Mitchell. Mr. Mitchell, sir, you're charged with possession of a firearm by a felon and theft by receiving firearm. There's an indication in the warrant that you're a convicted felon out of Broward County, Florida. I only had your Georgia criminal history information. I didn't have your Florida criminal information. But I'm setting a bond on the possession of firearm by a convicted felon at $5,000. And I'm setting a bond on the theft by receiving stolen property at $5,000. So that's a total bond of $10,000. These are felony offenses. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for March 9th at 8:30 in the morning. Courtroom 201, that date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. I see you've also refused to fill out the form. Does that mean that you're going to hire your own lawyer? I can't hear you, sir. Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at the top. You're right. How much do you make per hour?
I mean, we got to get paid $400 every week.
Okay. I'm gonna find that you qualify. Do you have any questions of me?
Sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. All right, Mr. Moody. I'm doing well, Mr. Moody, sir. You're charged with 2 misdemeanor offenses. One is driving a vehicle with a suspended license. Bond is set at $1,500. The other charge is no tail lights. Bond set at $500. Hold on one second. Mr. Ramos? We've already handled your case with Mr. Butterfield. He said that he was going to give you a call.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome. I'm sorry, Mr. Moody. So your total bond is going to be set at $500. I'm sorry, $2,000, 1,500 for the driving on the suspended license and $500 for the no tail light. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for March 8th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, please. And, is it, my sum of bond is 2,000, right?
Yes, sir. Now, it's going to be a little bit higher than this because the sheriff's department is required to add fees, but I don't have the fee schedule. So you may have been given a number already because these bonds are set by schedule.
I have a number here for 2,500.
Okay, that's going to be the true and correct number. Okay, I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any other questions for me, sir? Okay, you're free to go back. Mr. Render. Mr. Render, sir, you're charged with terroristic threats, which is a felony offense. I set the bond at $5,000. You're also charged with cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. I've set the bond at $5,000 for that offense also. That's a misdemeanor. So you have a total bond set at $10,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Lisa Williams. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for March 9th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
If I have my cash property on me, how can I set them up myself?
The short answer is that the jail will be able to give you the best information. My understanding is that you would have to have somebody that you turn the property over to or release the property to in order for you to be able to bond out. But I don't work at the jail, so they're the people that you need to speak to about that.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions, sir?
Sir.
All right, you're free to go back. Mr. Scott. Mr. Scott, sir, you're charged with 1 count of battery and 1 count of simple battery. The battery count is warrant number ending in 02306. I've set bond at $5,000 for that offense. The simple battery is the warrant ended in 02307. I've set the bond at $3,000. So that's a total bond of $8,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Jakia Harris. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for March 8th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. Mr. Shields. Mr. Shields, sir, you're charged with one felony offense of participating in a bank robbery. I'm going to deny bond at this stage. I'm going to set a preliminary hearing date for March 9th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. I'm going to also set a bond hearing date for March 11th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to find that you qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith, you're charged with one count of battery against a pregnant female. Bond is going to be set at $7,500. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Kayla Brown. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for March 9th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm going to find that you qualify, Mr. Smith. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
Was I gonna be able to bond out today?
Yes, sir.
Has someone posted my bond?
They can't have posted it yet because I've just said it.
Yes, sir.
So what happens is when this hearing is over, I complete the paperwork and I send it back over to the jail and they start inputting the information. So you know roughly the bond amount. You can contact your relatives or whoever is going to assist you, and they can contact bonding companies or they can start that whole process so that once this information is entered into the system, you're ready to go.
All right, thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Mr. Thomas. Mr. Thomas, sir, you're charged with one count of driving on a suspended license. Bond is going to be set at $1,500. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
Okay, your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for March 8th. Hold on. I'm sorry, I missed this. There's another warrant here that didn't make it to the bond order. It's going to be the charge is failure to stop for a school bus, and the warrant number is 2022 WA 02316. So you have two offenses. And set that bond at $1,000. So you're gonna have a total bond of $2,500. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for March 8th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to find that you qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No.
Okay, sir, you're free to go back. Mr. Weidman. Mr. Weidman, sir, you're charged with one count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, possession with intent to distribute marijuana. I'm setting the bond at $5,000 for that felony offense. You're also charged with one count of use or possession of drug-related objects. That's a misdemeanor offense, setting the bond at $1,500. And finally, you're charged with possession of more than an ounce of marijuana, which is a felony offense, and I'm setting the bond at $5,000. So that's going to be a total bond of $11,500. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for March 9th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'm going to find that you qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, thank you.
Okay, sir, you're free to go back. Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams, sir, you're charged with one count of simple battery, family violence. I'm setting the bond at $3,000 for that misdemeanor offense. And one count of criminal damage to property in the second degree, which is a felony. I'm setting the bond at $5,000. So that's a total bond of $8,000. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Calvin Williams. Do you understand that? Your preliminary hearing date is going to be set for March 9th at 8:30 in the morning, courtroom 201. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me? Okay, all right, so you're free to go back. I believe that completes the call of the calendar.
Yes, Your
Thank
Honor.
you. Thank you, Deputy